afternoon, Energizers. It's so great to be here this afternoon. I'm here to do my very first speech. I am a new Toastmaster, and I'd like to tell you all a little bit about myself, so this will be an icebreaker. My name is Kendra Erdman. I work for XTO Energy currently, as Mr. Toastmaster addressed, and I work in the Training and Development Department. So the basic reason that I joined Toastmasters is because how can you be in training and development and be so afraid to get up in front of people? So I hope to gain that, as well as that helped me to make a difference in my life as well as a professional. I firmly believe that we are where we are in today's life because of our past experiences, and I hope all of you do too, because I think you can look back and realize you are where you are and how things progress in your life. I'd like to start by telling you a little bit about my childhood. I grew up in Burnett, Texas. You've never heard of it? Because it's so tiny you probably can't find it. It's a town of 10,000. It's right outside Wichita Falls on the Oklahoma border. No, we're not Oklahoma. We are Burnett, Texas. So that's always a big gist and joke because we were always rivals with the Oklahoma guys right on the other side. I grew up there my entire life until I went off and got married. But when I was living there, I had a great childhood. I look back and think what a wonderful childhood I had, and I only hope that my son now has one as great as I did. One of my fondest childhood memories, my grandfather ran the lumber yard in town, which as a little girl sounds a little funny, but he would pick me up from school in his red lumber yard truck with the lumberist strapped to the top of it, take me to the lumber yard, and I would get the chance to work the cash register in grade school. And I loved talking to the men that would come in and buy lumber. It was so fun. And he would come up with special projects for us, which would usually include counting nails or screws and calling that inventory. So it was really great on payday because we would get paid in snow cones or ice cream or candy bars. So as a kid, you thought payday was the greatest thing ever. As I grew up, I went on to Midwestern State University. I started that right out of high school. Needless to say, I was not an avid student. I went from a town of 10,000, which I graduated with 100 people, to a school of 6,000, which was very small in college standards, but it scared me to death. It was way overwhelming. So I decided that I'd rather work full-time and make money instead of go to school. But needless to say, I graduated in 2010, so I am probably the longest college person to stay in college, but I did finish, and I think that that was really good. And now, like Kyle spoke last week, I would like to go back and get my master's degree, because once you're older, you really appreciate education, I think. You start realizing it's not as bad, and you're not really taking away from your social life. So, I also have a 4-year-old little boy. He is the love of my life, so I try to say that that's my #1 job. XTO is my secondary job. I feel kind of like a superhero some days. I get to be one thing by day and another by night and on the weekends, so it's kind of great. He is so full of life and energy, and he definitely keeps me on my toes, which I think is amazing and keeps me young. So I appreciate everything that he gives to me, and he blesses me in every way. Like we said, I work for XTO Energy. I'd like to give you a little background about what I do because I thoroughly enjoy my job. And that's the only thing that could take me away from being a mom full-time. I work in training and development. What I get to do on a daily basis is work with people in different departments that do amazing things, such as pipeline repair. They install the pipeline, actually show the flow. I've been dealing with men that work on automation. They're the ones that actually set up all the IT programming that runs the pipes and does everything for them in the backgrounds. So every day I get to learn something new, and I think that that's just an amazing thing. I wish that everyone got that opportunity. You hear people that say they don't like their job because it's so repetitious. Mine is never repetitious, so it's a really great thing. I use a program called Articulate. Some of you may have heard of it. It's a computer-based program that is a PowerPoint add-on. You actually insert your PowerPoint and you can make everything animated and do whatever, put the backgrounds in. And what it does is it turns your PowerPoint into a computer-based training that's run through our learning management system. So it gives me the opportunity to be creative on a daily basis and be able to do something different I don't have to do the same thing. One day I may be working on pipeline repair, the next day I may be working with persuading others. So training and development has been a wonderful part of my life, and I don't find myself doing anything different. So that's a little bit about me, and does anyone have any questions? No? All right. Thank you all so much.